Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Motivational Mornings. So happy Mondays. Today is our lead up to Easter. It's Good Friday on Friday. So we're going to be doing a few Easter related crafts coming up. We've also got ceramics tomorrow, and then we've got an upcycling, spring themed upcycling for you on Wednesday, and then curator David Gilbert on Thursday is going to talk about his work, the artwork that he owns. And then we're having a day off on Friday. We're not gonna be doing videos for the Easter break because we'll give you time to get creative and do your own thing. But we'll be back next Tuesday as well. So this morning I am doing an Easter wreath, and a wreath's one of the circles that you usually put on a door, often at Christmas, but I thought let's do something spring related and do one to go on our front door. So I've been foraging in the garden, so I've got loads of nice things. So I've got some flowers, I got some more of the heather that we did use in the mindfulness session the other day. I've got 2 shades of that. This is lovely. So there's a white and a pink. I thought they look quite lovely with the yellow. So literally I've gone in the garden with my secateurs and I went and just chopped loads of stuff. We've got some more of the rosemary that we used in the focaccia bread last Monday. So the rosemary. Also chopped 2 different types of leaf because of the colours. So that's a lovely dark leaf off our bay tree, and then this one is a lighter colour. It's got yellowy green leaves, lighter green. I thought those 2 were quite nice together. And then I've been chopping bamboo all weekend, so I went a bit mad and chopped bamboo because I realised it was growing so high. Sorry, my plants are attacking the screen there. The bamboo grows so high. This is just like a third of the height of the bamboo, and it's higher than me when I'm standing. So we chopped it down to make canes for our tomatoes. So I've been drying it out in the shed, but I realised it's super flexible. So as well as branches, but I'm going to use this as the base for our wreath. We're doing a wreath that probably, because we're making do with what we've got in the garden, it won't be one that stays alive like past a week. It's probably going to last a week. It'll last over Easter. I'm going to spray it every day with a little water spray, but just flick a bit of water on to keep it a bit happy. Most of the things I've chosen are quite happy if they dry out, so the leaves are going to still look quite nice if they dry out. Rosemary's fine if it dries out. The only thing that's probably going to suffer is this might go a bit manky when it dries out, but it should last for the week, I think, because I've had a trial run and I cut some already. And also like things like heathers, they're just gonna dry out, and they'll probably start to drop a little bit as they dry, but they should last for the Easter kind of week. So I've got my bamboo. I chose if you've got any bamboo, it's perfect for this, but if you've not got bamboo, just use the twigs as well. If you can see, they're pretty malleable, the twigs, so you can bend these into different shapes. So that would work as well. You could use that, but I think I'm gonna use the bamboo. So I'm gonna chop off. I'm gonna just strip off the leaves because I like the leaves, but probably not for this session. So I'm just gonna chop the leaves off. I'm just gonna pull them off. So pull the leaves off. If you want to do this alongside me, it'd be great to see what you're up to. If this is something you're probably going to do like over the next few days, do send in your pictures. If you PM us on Artcore, we can add it onto the Facebook page to show people what you've done. So I'm trying to make a circle. So sometimes bamboo, it breaks, but I think that's the kind of size that I want. So one that you can fit your head through is the size I'm going for this morning. And I've got garden twine, but I'm going to use this wire because it's just that bit stronger. I think because I'm using bamboo, I'm going to use some twine. So I'm going to just cut a bit of twine off. So we're going to cut that, and I'm going to wrap it initially where we go over. Oh, it's making a bit of a crazy shape, but don't worry too much if it's not a full circle, because we're going to be layering it up with loads of foliage, so it won't matter too much. And I'm just going to wind that really far round, really neatly as well. I don't want people to be able to see that. And then when I've got the two ends, either you tie it in a knot, or if it's wire, you just twist it together. So let's have a look. Let's see how this holds up. So I've done this before with Christmas wreaths, but I've not done a spring one. And I was looking on Pinterest, and like there's so many beautiful different ones. So Pinterest is a great place to look for inspiration. So we've kind of got this sort of shape. But I want to finish off these ends as well. So I'm going to keep wrapping. I'm going to wrap it round itself to just finish it off. Don't worry if you've got spiky bits at the minute. We're going to wrap a bit more round, so it's a bit of a rough circle. Don't worry if it's looking a bit rough. We're going to layer it up. It's going to look beautiful by the time I've finished. So I'm going to just wrap the ends round here. So have you all had a lovely weekend? The weather's been amazing. I've been in the garden all weekend. I've very proudly cleared our shed out. There are hundreds of spiders in there, and I disturbed them. As most of you know who know me, know I don't really like spiders very much, but I embraced my fear as spiders fell on my head in the shed. So dusted the shed out, I've cleared the shed. What else have I done? I've painted everything. I had a pot of Annie Sloan paint, and I painted everything a lovely kind of greeny colour, bluey green. I'm going to chop off the end there. There we go. And then I'm going to just bring this one round. Bamboo gets thicker as it goes around. As it gets, I think the tops are quite thin, and then it gets thicker as it goes towards, so it's pretty solid stuff. So I'm going to chop that so we can tie that bit in. So yeah, what else did we do? Oh, I need to clean the barbecue. In my old house, the neighbours were chucking out their barbecue. So I kind of took it and renovated it, because they're expensive to buy, the gas barbecues. They're a few £100, aren't they? So I'm a bit of an upcycler. So hi Paula. Paula's my cousin. Nice to see you this morning. I hope you're joining in with me, Paula, and getting crafty. So great to see you. There we go. I want you foraging in your garden with the boys, Paula. I want to see what you've done. So get them foraging and making. I thought also a wreath's like a symbol of hope. It's like eternity, everlasting. In Christian tradition, it's about it's a holy sign. But in other religions as well, they use the circle shape. It's something that's a sign of hope and a sign of eternity. So I thought that was quite fitting with the situation we're in at the moment. It's a bit crazy, isn't it? Still being in isolation. But we need to keep busy and creative. It's really important. So I've got my slightly skew-if looking circle, and now I want to build that up with stuff. So what I'm going to do is build it up with the leaves first, and then I'm going to build it up with the flowers on top of the leaves. So I want to go big, so maybe not that big, but I'm going to cut those down. But I want to build it up so it's quite a big wreath to go on the front door, so it's noticeable. you don't want to do anything too small that you can't really see. So I'm going to build those up. How are we doing for time? Oh, we've got 10 minutes. So I'm going to, time flies, doesn't it? So I'm going to, you don't need to be too perfect about this. That's the fun of it. So I'm going to cut some of my wire. Let me see. I think, I don't know how to hang it on the door. I might have to put a loop on it and put some sellotape on the door. Sometimes people have a nail, if they've got a wooden front door, you might have a nail in it already from where you've done your Christmas wreath. Where do you usually hang a wreath, I wonder? Sometimes people hang them inside as well. I'd say with this one, because it's so natural, what I'm doing now, if you can see, is I'm just wiring the greenery onto the circle. Can you see? So I'm wiring that up. So there we go. Just make sure you if you're using the wire, just make sure there's no sharp ends. Push it back into itself. So you don't want to be spiking. I like that. So I'm going to use a bit more of that, but I'm going to use a different colour of leaf to go against it. So just to make a bit of added texture, I'm going to use that same bit of wire. Let's have a look. And we can go round this with nice ribbon after. At the moment we're just securing it in place, but then we can go over it with some ribbon. So there we go. It's all in a bit of a tangle, my ribbons this morning. Yes, I've had when I cleared the shed out, I found so many exciting things. Got so many seeds to plant. So I'm going to be planting some carrots later, some broccoli and some spring onions. So the weather's great, so do make sure you get fresh air. It wasn't looking that great this morning when I went out. It was raining, but it's really cheered up now. Definitely barbecue season. So if you've got a back garden, get your barbecue out. We should do a barbecue special, really. So just wiring this up. There we go. Let's have a look at what that looks like. So you don't have to be too precise. So, oh, it's looking good. I'm happy with this. Again, we're going to layer the colour on after. So you can tweak it as well. But we're going to keep layering up. So let's have a look. I want a bit more of this. Again, don't worry about being precise. So I think having foliage that kind of contrasts in colour. Can you see the light and the dark there? And different sizes in the leaves is quite an effective way. So let's have a look. We'll get a bit more wire out. Ooh. There we go. And I've been foraging in my ribbon drawer as well. I think I'm a bit of a hoarder, as you will have seen in my other sessions, and I've got all bits of ribbon and things left. You never know when you need a bit of ribbon. So we're going to use them today as well. So I'm just going to put that on. So I'm not going to... I don't know if we've got time to go all the way round, but let me just roughly do it to show you. And I'll send a picture of the finishing if we don't manage to get it all done in one session this morning. I can send you a picture. So also at 1 PM we've got another lovely session for our crafternoon with the delightful Victoria Brown. We're painting stones and water. So we're going to put up the materials list in a bit, so keep an eye on that. So we're building it up. Just 2 more, I think, going round, and then we can add some colour. Oh, hi. Oh, is it inspiring you, Paula? Great. Get inspired. I want to see what you make this morning. My cousin's very artistic. She used to do amazing drawings. I remember helping make a pasta face. I don't know if you remember helping me make my pasta face when I was in primary school for my art homework. Was a face made out of pasta, and I got top marks because she helped me. I don't know if you remember that, Paula. But there we go. Paula's one of our amazing NHS staff that are doing such a cracking job. They always do a cracking job. So let's have a look. Her and her husband are both nurses. She'll be very embarrassed that I'm telling everyone. But yeah, they're both nurses. They're amazing. So let's put this one on. Right, I'm keen to get this ready to show you. So we're getting there. How are we doing for time? Right, we've got a bit more time. I'm going to add a bit more greenery. One more, I think, here. Yeah, one more in there, I think. Oh, have I run out of greenery? Maybe. Oh, actually, I've got an idea. I think we might start layering some of the colour on. So let's have a look at layering the colour. This isn't as Blue Peter as my usual one. I've usually got one to show you that I did earlier. But I'm making it with you this morning. So let's have a look. This is gorgeous. I think this is just really beautiful. I think it doesn't matter if it goes outside of your circle. I think that will add to it, so I'm going to add that on. I think it can be a bit freeform, bit Midsummer Night's Dream. So let's have a look. I'm going to tie that on. Let's have a look. We'll do that. I think if we tie a bit of the yellow on. I've got so much to add into this, but for this morning. Hi, Hyrule. Oh, thank you. Looks good already. I think the yellow is a really nice colour, isn't it? It's very springy. So, oh, everything's falling off. I'm getting covered in spiders as well. When I cut all the stuff in the garden and put it on the dining table, hundreds of spiders fell off. So let's have a look. I might add that bit up there. Yeah, I think we need to add that bit on. And then I'm just going to add a bit of the pink. Oh, I want to show you the bow I've made as well. As you can see behind me, you might be looking at this. My husband is a vicar, and he goes out to Papua New Guinea. He runs the Anglican Communion Papua New Guinea Partnership. So they raise money for education out there. And this is made on tapa cloth. And it's a mud... I think this is painted with mud. It looks a bit... well, he told me off because I thought it looked very Aboriginal, but it's a different style. So even though Papua New Guinea is above Australia, it's a different style. But I love all the lines on it. There's some slightly more scary things that I've got around the house. He's got all these masks, but I'm not someone who... I don't like those... the wooden masks very much. I find them a bit scary, and he's got some of those up. But some have been relegated to his study. There's one that looks like Jafar off Aladdin. So I've popped that one in his study. When I got married and moved in. Classic. So there we go. So, oh, that's looking beautiful. If I had more time, I'd cover this bit up. So you can cover some of the spots up. I think maybe if I put a bit of this in, you might be able to slot it in the spaces you've made already. Just start slotting it in. There we go. Oh, I like that pink. But the white is beautiful as well. So start to slot and cover. So it's looking really nice. I think we'll put a natural, I've got a raffia bow I made. So I think we're going to put the bow on there. So there we go. So I'm going to tie that bow on. I've got my necklace caught in my creation. But I'm going to tie the bow on. I just had a little bit of string, but you could use all sorts. I've got ribbon. You could use any kinds of ribbon. There's no reason. I've got scraps of everything. You could make a nice ribbon. Whatever you've got. I think this was off a Lush bath bomb kit. It's quite neon, but it's the right colour. So you get creative. Use whatever you've got around. Don't throw anything away. There's so much that you can do. So let's see the finished item. I'm just tying on the bow. It doesn't have to be perfect. This, you just want it. You can keep that. It gets a bit addictive. You can keep adding and slotting bits in. I'm going to use the crazy neon bow to make a hanging. So I'm going to put a knot in it. Like that, and then I'm going to choose where the top is. So I think the top might be here. So I'm just going to pop that over itself. So let's have a look. There we go. So that's on how to make your own Easter wreath to go on your front door as a symbol of hope. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that this morning, and I want to see all your creations that you've made, so do send them in to me. So, and don't forget, Crafternoon is at 1 p.m, and that's with Victoria Brown. And our artist who's doing artist takeover on Artcore Gallery is Alison Evans of Deli Cut. And she does paper cutting and the fancy plants that you might have seen in our shop. So we look forward to seeing you then. Bye.